or Earth. No, let's talk about Earth. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, the Board Boys podcast. Got Rob and Cam and TK, and we're talking spicy hot games. And here's one that I have no clue how to play. I'm in 2 games on BGA right now, and I'm just button mashing, or as Steve says,
flail and fail.
Flail and fail. That's basically what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that you guys in 5 minutes could take me from an absolute neophyte to helping me beat Zach and Jared in the game. Who could do that?
I mean, you just score point. Am I the only one that's actually played a physical copy of this game?
Yep.
Yeah, if you don't count digital copies, then yeah.
Well, I don't even know what to say to that.
They stopped the show.
Now everyone knows what we deal with on a daily basis.
Wayne says, best way to learn a game of BGA, just click things until you see a score.
That's how I learned how to play. I played 4 times, and now I'm a master of it.
I mean, that's all you need to know with this. I mean, Earth is brand new hotness. It's already 450 on BGG. Maxime Tardif is the designer, a bunch of artists, and it's by Inside Up Games. It's on BGA if you want to play it. Tactically.
I've played one of Maxim's games before. Have you played Deep Sea, mini Deep Sea Diver, or Diver City? That's it, Diver City.
Yeah, and the main thing I like about it is the game is all right. That's a good picture right there. So you basically take one of, I believe, 4 actions, and you get to do the top thing, and then everyone else gets to do the bottom thing. And the main thing you're doing is planning things in a 4x4 grid, trying to score points, or that second action there is to get dirt, and you spend dirt to plant the plants, which is the first action. That second symbol there that kind of looks like a recycled card symbol is putting cards in your compost pile, which that's like another resource you can use to do things with. Like you can spend things out of your compost. They're also worth points at the end of the game. The next action is putting little green growth cubes on your cards, which are also worth points at the game. And then the fourth one, I can't really remember. Oh, bring us in there.
It's growing the tree.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. It's growing the tree on the card. And you get points for that, too. You get points per segment, or if you've grown the full thing like you see there. I'm not sure if that's a legal tree or not. Is that 4 tall? Anyway.
It's 3 tall.
Yeah, that's tall. Cheating. That you can't do that.
Oh, you can't?
Well, see the little brown 4 on there? You should have 4 total pieces, which is like 3 little trunks and then a topper piece. And then that is worth 7 points at the end of the game.
Well, that's what they have. They have 3 pieces and
like
then the
3.
little topper.
Okay. The topper has a piece to it, though. So I don't know. Anyway, that's worth 7 points. If you don't have all of it, you just get a point per chunk. So like that one next to it that has 3 chunks on it,
yeah,
only worth 3 points. But if you put one more, it'd be 8.
Don't these look like the settlers in what's the game where you play the different spirits? The Spirit Island. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And then the other thing you do is you just trigger everything. The action has a color associated with it, and you trigger everything in your tableau of that color, starting in the top left, going across and down all the rows. And so I wasn't sure if it would be like, I thought it'd be a pretty good BGA game because it's going to do all that for you. But then also it's not as satisfying because it all kind of just goes bloop, 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 bloop. My wife is scaring me right now.
Jeremy wants to know, Rob, anybody, do y'all read about the plants as you play? Do y'all look at the flavor text?
I love flavor text. That's my favorite thing about Wingspan, which this game people have kind of compared it to. And I think the reason why they compare it is, in Wingspan, when you play a card or you do an action, you then trigger everything in that row.
Right.
You do that in this game, only you trigger your whole tableau of all the colors that match. And you're doing all kinds of things. Like you'll be taking green cubes to grow plants, or taking the plant chunks off to put green cubes, or to get dirt. Like everything just kind of mishmashes into everything else. And you're just trying to build an engine to dump out lots of stuff on your board because everything is points. And that's the best explanation I've got. Like it feels very point. You can just, you throw stuff at the wall and points stick to it is all that happens. And my big thing was, I thought, I've only played it one time, and the big thing was, is it going to be annoying messing with all the pieces all the time and doing all the things? And ultimately, I didn't think so.
Yeah, like Space Base. I loved Space Base a long time ago, but I got tired of fiddling around with all the parts. Then I started playing on BGA, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the greatest game ever, because BGA does all the annoying stuff for you.
That's true. I think this game has enough tactile, like, I like doing it, and it's fun to watch it grow. I think this game is fun to do that part of it, as far as moving the pieces around. I mean, if you're lazy and maybe you don't want to do it, go to BGA. But I think it's fine in real life. We'll find out, though. I've only played it once.
Rob, you said you played this in person, the hard copy?
Yeah.
Okay. My question, I played this only on BGA a couple of times. And as you're growing the tree with the trunks, is it kind of like in Takenoko where you're putting into the bamboo something that holds in place? Okay. So there's something that makes it stable rather than just stacked?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't knock anything over while I was playing.
That was one of the concerns. As it gets taller, you might be having to reach across to get to something at the top of your tableau, and we were really concerned about whether that was going to be a problem on the table.
I mean, if you knock one over, they tend to stay together anyway. I feel like they're pretty well connected.
Okay.
Some actually probably fit better than others. I had a few that you really had to kind of squeeze in there. But yeah, overall, and then you can see right there the other thing is, if you don't like multiplayer solitaire, that's what this game. I mean, this game has almost zero player interaction.
I thought you do stuff on other players' turns.
Well, yeah, but I'm not so maybe if your play group is a group that would actually be like, oh, I do not want to trigger this, but you have so much stuff going on your board. I can't imagine you caring about 3 or 4 other players. And oh no, if I do this action, they'll trigger 30 yellow things on their board.
Right. So interaction, in other words, the agency of whether or not other players are going to take part, not whether they're just actually physically taking part.
Yeah, I can't imagine you would care that much about that.
Yeah,
to be honest. But you are racing towards primary. So everything you're playing on your board is either a fauna card or a landscape card. So that green card is a fauna card that gets on your board. That brown card that you're seeing in that person's hand is a card that basically gives you kind of a special ability. And then the front card are action cards that you play. And and a lot of them cost you negative points at the end of the game, you can see. And those you can just play on your turn. You can play those cards, I think, at any time. Maybe just on your turn. I don't remember, but they don't go in your tableau.
BGA is always asking me, do you want to play an event? Do you want to play an event?
Yeah,
so that's what they're talking about here?
Yeah. And then the fauna cards are all of on the main board, that first picture you had, those are all random double-sided. That's the thing with this game. I don't know how many. There's like 250 some cards. There's so many cards in this game. The replayability seems off the charts. Especially all the objective cards are like double-sided, and then everyone has objective cards on their board, like 2 or 3 objective cards on their boards, and they're shared ones. You are racing towards those objectives in the middle of the board, and that's the player interaction, is trying to get there first.
Any thoughts on the art?
I mean, it's pretty.
It's photorealistic rather than what you would have with Wingspan it is very painterly. So I think some people who might be thinking it's Wingspan might have been hoping that there would be art rather than pictures. And so I thought it was fine. I thought it was pretty, but
the player board has all the iconography on it too, which is nice. You can see that there. And I think on the upside, I think if you missed out on the Kickstarter, I think the retail edition is just as good. I don't know that you're missing out on too much besides maybe some wooden dirt pieces or something. So yeah, right there you can see on that player's board, that blue card on the left tells you how many cards you draw and then how many of them you put in your compost. And then I think one other thing, and then it also has some points on it. Anything time where you say leaves or points. And then that middle card and the card on the right are both the middle card is a special ability card, and the card on the right is your own personal objective. And then there's a couple more of those in the middle, and then there's fauna cards in the middle that you also score.
Man, the little triangle symbol, you called it a compost?
Which triangle? The
Well, on BGA it looks sort of like a triangle. I guess it's that little compost.
one.
No, that's your currency. That's how you pay for cards.
Dirt.
That's dirt. So that orange action is +2 dirt, or put 2 cards off the top of the deck in the compost. So sometimes you can put cards off the top of the deck in the compost. Other actions take cards out of your hand and put it in your compost. And sometimes you play cards out of your compost. Yeah, sorry, soil I think is the right term. I had to call it dirt.
Thank you, Kelly. Cam had always asked me if I want to trade cards for this triangle symbol on BGA, and I do it on every turn. I don't know if
Or
that's
you
the right
trade
thing.
you trade the sprout. I think you trade sprouts. You have to be like spending points to get soil.
Wait, I'm spinning blocks. That's right, little blocks.
Yeah.
Block, but the blocks are points.
Is that a
Yeah.
winning strategy?
I would say no.
I mean,
Because you're giving up 3 points to get $2 essentially.
That seems like a good deal in my world.
Hey, I just want to say I haven't played this game physically yet. Online, digitally, this game is for me a like rock hard, polished granite 3-boing game.
Oh wow!
This could be a 4 when I play it at the table. I think I'm going to get an opportunity to tomorrow night. But when
and that's from your physical play or the digital?
No, I've only played digitally, but I basically just learned how to play this just by clicking, and with each like experience with it, I just have a better opinion of it. And the things you can do and the different ways to score points. It's so fun. There's 4 objectives to keep track of. You have a secret, like a private objective. There's other 2 public objectives for endgame scoring. It's just ridiculous the amount of different ways you can do stuff in this. The spatial part of the game is really fun because there's tons of objectives that have to do or cards that activate certain types of cards in your row or column. This game is like, I would say it's like Wingspan and a little bit like Terraforming Mars, but like cranked up to like the umpteenth degree for point salad lovers. It's sick. I
agree with that. I think it's a good mix between those.
I'm getting a Terraforming Mars vibe, except without the Mars board.
I think it might be the art. The art's really Terraforming Marsy.
Yeah, I specifically didn't want to play this one on BGA because I didn't want to give it my BGA taint.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I play a game on BGA for the first time and I don't know what I'm doing, it just sours me.
Makes me like it more.
TK, have you played it?
Just online. I agree with Cam. I actually I am with Rob in that I do get the BGA taint if I don't know how to play it first. So I went and looked up how to play it, and I really liked it. I had a good time. I'd love to play it again, and I'm looking forward to play it live for sure.
Can you play solo on BGA?
Probably. I haven't tried, but a lot of BGA stuff you can solo. I recently did Arc Nova. That was pretty sick.
So TK, you do not recommend playing two different games of Earth at the exact same time without watching a video?
I don't. If you're me, I don't, because I get pretty. It definitely taints my experience, and I can't pull my head out of that. So,
do you guys not get the fun like, oh, now I understand what this icon means that I've just been clicking for the last 4 days? It feels so good to learn like one rule and then part of the game.
I actually that's how I learned Grand Austria Hotel. I played it like 20 times, learning one new rule each time we played it, until after 20 times I finally figured it out. Now I love the game.
It's how I learned Obsession and how I learned Space Station Phoenix also. And I just grew to like the game more. I mean, knowing the rules, I guess, is a big part of liking a game, isn't it?
Yeah. And not feeling stuck. Like that's my problem, is just you feel stuck and you're like, I don't know what to do. And then you just click something. And
Rob's calling shenanigans. He's played it on BGA and in person, and it's good, but not great. Harsh words.
I have a play in it. We'll see how it goes. This will probably also be an episode fairly soon.
I like it. I still used to like the episodes where Yo would actually take a break to go play the game and then come back and talk about the game.
We still do that.
Every once in a while.
We just play before recording and pretend we're playing in the middle.
At a certain point, I was like, this is goofy to get the recording equipment out and then set up the game around the equipment and then do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to streamline the process here, baby.
Yep. Patrick Newman says he learned Dominion basically playing the online version. Yeah. I like whenever you can try out different strategies. The beauty of playing 100 Castle of Burgundy games over and over and over again when you're playing it is that you can just let me try the yellow tile strategy. Let me try the farm strategy.
Agreed heavily.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, Mr. BGA Alpha. That's right.
And no, I'm just a beta in comparison with the real crazy players. But I keep
Rob,
like
the
30 games going.
The Kellys.
The
Kellys.
real question though, where does it match up, Rob, between this and Can't Stop?
Between Earth and Can't Stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I stopped Can't Stop, so Cam's out.
Oh wow. He just left the podcast. Wow.